you are showing the next generation what is right and what is to do and what is not to do. You have to open path for them. You have to lead by examples, and you have to make sure to be successful. You have to have allies. You have to have supporters. You have to have sponsors, mentors, and you have to build them. So rather than focusing on the things that didn't work right, the people who didn't do right, I would focus on the people who did right and then pay it forward with that. Because you will find all kind of people, but then it's up to you, like what exactly you want to choose, like which side you want to choose and what you want to pay it forward.
Welcome to 99 Humans. My name is Jeff LaCosta, curious coach and Wall Street Journal best-selling author, striving to understand how little things generate big impact.
And I'm Nadia Carta, tech executive and lifestyle coach with a mission to transform lives and corporations by kindling hearts to generate a zeal for life.
Each week, we investigate stories about the human side of leadership to re-energize your spirit and help you become a stronger leader.
Because the reality is that leadership is messy, goofy, challenging, but always human.
Thanks for spending time with us today. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to 99 Humans. I'm joined by the incredible Vidya More. And our show is really all about getting beyond the resume, into the person behind all of those bullets. But boy, do you have some incredible bullets. So let me just list a couple of these because it really is inspiring to see all that you've accomplished on the work side of life. And I know that there's a whole lot more going on behind the scenes, but you're currently Capgemini's practice leader for cloud data and AI, which just in and of itself couldn't be a hotter, sexier kind of job for this moment in time. You were the head of engineering, data and AI at Xero, and then a who's who of consulting firms on your resume from EY, KPMG, PwC. And I know that you have a deep passion and spend a lot of time thinking and working to drive more women into positions of power and keep them there. So, Vidya, thank you for being here today. Where does this podcast find you?
Thank you so much, Jeff, and thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm very honored to be here. Thank you so much to Nadia, who actually is a great inspiration for me.
Well, you both are overlapping a lot in that AI world. So yes, you definitely have a lot in common here.
Yeah, but I'm very inspired by her story and what she does. So I'm very honored to be here. And thanks for the opportunity, I would say. I'm based in New York. And happy to be here and answer any questions that you have. And
absolutely,
I'm actually a big fan of your podcast, though. I've followed them through, and great work that you both are doing. So thank you again.
It's fun. It's fun to talk to amazing people and hear what leadership's really like. And I'm seeing over your shoulder, you have some Legos here, a Hogwarts castle, which is on my list. I have the Office behind one of these things here, the Office Lego set, because I'm a big Office TV show fan. But you mentioned that you build Legos over the holidays. Tell me more about, your Lego.
Wonderful. And thank you for noticing that. Yeah, that's something I love doing it. I would say this is kind of my meditation, or when I need to focus to think something or what I want to do next. Holidays are a great break, right? To reconnect and reset. So Lego gives me that path to think through what is happening, where I don't have to think about anything. It's just a disconnect and just create something amazing. That's my personal passion, creating something meaningful through technology or through any other means. So Lego gives me that opportunity. It's different pieces build something wonderful that you wouldn't even imagine, realize. So
talk about a brand that has found a way to stay relevant and connect with their aging audience. I mean, we grew up with Lego, and I'm still, now they have adult sets, and we rediscovered it during COVID. My husband and I got more into Lego, and it was we picked up every hobby. None of it stuck, but Lego, that was something that was always fun.
Exactly. It's always fun. And it doesn't matter if you do it alone or with people, because I actually build Legos with my nephew, and that's connection also is amazing. Picking those small pieces and building, and then like it's all about our journey, right? Sometimes doing the wrong thing, but there is not something wrong. It's like Bob Ross used to say, there are no mistakes, it's a happy accidents
I
when
love
he used
that.
to
Yes.
and that's my logo as well. Like that's my I would say more of my life. Like there are no mistakes, it's okay, you learn, and those are happy accidents, right? So that
Well,
teaches
speaking
us.
of journeys, seeing those incredible resume bullets, I want to unpack a story or two where leadership was human. But really, before we get to story time, can you first just tell me a little bit about how you got to where you are today? What's been your journey?
Wonderful. Yeah. So if I think about it, so I grew up in like a middle class family in India in very small apartment. I would say it was 300 square feet, to be honest. To actually thought about that, and like thinking about US was not even I would say an option that time. Like we used to just see those in the movies and in some like some television shows and all that. But I used to dream. I used to dream to actually go somewhere and like leave this place and like learn. So I think that was a journey of continuous learning, having passion, having dedication.
Sorry to
So
interrupt, but
yeah.
you framed it interesting already. You said, I dreamed to leave, which I think is a relatable feeling for everyone. But you added and to learn. And it seems like that's something that was very important to you, even at a young age. Where did that come from? That's a really cool addition to that dream.
Interesting. And I wasn't prepared for this question, but let me just think about that. So, yeah, I think the challenges that we had, because the era that I was actually growing up, and as I mentioned, like I grew up in a middle class family, so we did have like food and house and everything, but there was some financial restrictions as well. And I used to build things, I used to actually fix things from the since my childhood. Even if it is radio, when I didn't even like know how to fix it, I would just open
Wow.
and then don't close it.
This
Like
is the
when I became
Legos
an engineer.
connection.
Exactly. And those are the things I used to love that time. And I was like, what's next, like what next? And when I wanted to become an engineer, that was the part like where I wanted to become an engineer, because no one had done that in my family before. And
Mhm.
my parents were like, what are you going to do? It's like, I'll figure it out. But I'm very grateful and fortunate that even though the engineering was not part of women that time, my parents supported me, because the education was very, very, very important for them, even for my grandparents and my like the close family. So they focused on my education. They knew that I wanted to study. We will support you in any means. But I got a scholarship in engineering, full scholarship, and then I finished it. And that's where I kind of opened up this new avenues where, okay, there is more that we can achieve, there is more. So I was trying to challenge myself, I would say, like, can I do that, like, can I do this, can I try that? And I mentioned that there are only happy accidents, right? There are no mistakes. So when you are afraid of failure, that is a different thing. You don't try. But when you just try and fail, you learn and then again try, right? So just to come back, yeah, I there were a couple of friends who were going for the uh, further education, and I didn't have that much money to go for it. So I actually did some job. Like at that time, I worked with Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Capgemini, saved some money, applied for student visa, and got rejected. So I thought, okay, I'm never gonna go to US again. So it's like fine. But fast forward, luckily, I got opportunity to work in US, and like through Bank of America and the other companies. So I came here anyways, and that opened the door
Wow.
of learning this diversity, learning this diverse culture, because that I never had the experience before being in India. I became the first person to leave the country, by the way.
Oh,
When I left
wow.
the
And your family.
country, I and my family, it was before that, through Capgemini. Like I was before also in Capgemini in 2004. where I got to work in London. And that's where I understood, okay, it's not like, because when you don't, like, when you're in your own country, when your own people, you don't know, like, you don't have that, uh, like, that interaction with the diversity around you, right? So when I left the country for work in UK, I met very different people who don't look like me or who don't talk like me. So I had to adjust my speaking style, my working style. And that opened the avenues where I wanted to learn more. I wanted to actually try for more diverse culture, more diverse opportunities. And now I want to build more diverse team. That is the reason, because that's what is required. If you're focused with one, you would never create those amazing things, and you would never challenge yourself, and you will just then be you.
I love
But
that
we're so
London
happy.
cracked that open for you. London's one of my very favorite cities in the world. It's kind
Yes.
of what cracked open my own view as well
Yeah.
in terms of a big
Exactly.
city. So we share that in
Exactly.
common. And
That's
I'm curious,
awesome.
how did learning that and experiencing leaving the country, seeing diversity, finding success and achieving and this career that really was off the beaten path, then influence the way that you interact with your family, then and now as well?
Yeah. Great question. First of all, I might be in 20s when I left the country for the first time. So of course I was very excited about it. But I was very, very like scared of living alone without my parents, without anyone, right? And but I wanted to put myself in those uncomfortable things because I wanted to make sure, like, okay, maybe I was curious and just to uh, I'm very good with experiments with myself and like things. So I just wanted to see, okay, how does this thing work? So how that thing work? Like, reach out to people, ask them, be curious, be innovative sometimes, because everything was different there, like cooking or like doing the laundry or dishes. Everything was a learning for me because I had never seen anything like that. Because we don't see how small things are. Those we are not grateful that there is a dishwasher, there is a laundry machine, there is this like subways you which take you like so fast from one place to another. We didn't have all those things there. And when I came here, like in London, I kind of tried to understand, okay, how those things work and how grateful I am for actually having that experience. And then it started opening up, like working with those clients, and everyone was helpful. I guess I would say I am fortunate or blessed that I always find right people who helped me and like who guided me in the right way. They were like mentors, sponsors, coach. And I'm always grateful for those people in my life who actually gave me the opportunities, show me the path, and help me establish where I'm.
Can you remember
So,
a specific time? Because I appreciate so much the acknowledgement that
yeah.
your success owes some debt of gratitude to amazing people around you and ahead of you. And clearly this is a passion for you now, which I want to talk more about, doing, sort of paying it back. But
Yeah.
tell me a time, if you can remember one, where there was a specific moment where somebody maybe went out of their way to give you an opportunity or teach you a lesson or something where somebody really did impact your journey.
Yeah. So there are many, I would say. But yeah, so if I remember, this is the project that like, and just to take a step back, like yeah, I have been in this industry, in the technology industry for 20 years. Right, you already mentioned I've worked
You've
with.
been AI way before AI was cool. Everybody's AI now, but you were really doing stuff in this field much, much before it
Yeah,
had taken off.
and I think yeah, like I would say again, I was grateful for having that opportunities, even directly or indirectly. I was part of that. Even in the college, that was one of the subject, but we didn't know, right? What is the AI we're going to do? Everyone used to like talk about these computers and robots, but no one knew like it's gonna happen in like 15 or 20 years down the
Not that
line. But this
long.
is
Yeah.
happening exactly. So yeah, so I have worked with the PwC, KPMG, like EY, as well as Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Citibank. So there were like many people that I can think about. But one of the interesting project that I got to know, like I got to lead, I guess I was very grateful that I was able to do that at one of the big fours. It was the product that we were trying to build under the startup umbrella of this specific company, like the big four, and we're partnering with this big pharmaceutical company to help the cancer patient to provide, like, help them enable to provide right drug at the right time for each patient and
Wow.
every time. So we wanted to build a product in the individualized cell and gene therapy, because we call it ICGT. So with partnering with this pharmaceutical company, and it was a most complex but very close project to my heart, because it has a vision that I never thought that would have such a profound impact. And that was happening during the COVID. Like, we didn't know when we started the COVID is going to happen, but we started the project and COVID happened. But I will be always grateful for the leaders of this company who actually trusted in me and gave me this opportunity, because this is something no one had done before in that in our company, and they trusted me, trusted in me, and then gave me this opportunity to lead this complex engagement, which is always a great learning library for me. I call it learning library, whatever I learn, because it goes there, right? So
Nice.
it was, so I came up with this. So I don't
Yeah,
know
I
whether
like
it is
that. It gives
already
me
exists
a
that.
mental picture of how you're storing things.
Yeah, it's a continuous learning library for my own self, all my
Yeah.
experiences, I call that. So I would say I'm always grateful for these leaders, even at PwC, at EY, who gave me this opportunity when I was trying to establishing myself here, when where I used to have this my own limiting beliefs, because I didn't mention that, but I did my schooling in my native language, like which is Marathi. I never had the English as my first language, so I had this beliefs like, okay, my English is not good, my speaking style, my pronunciation, not everyone is gonna understand. So I would keep quiet. But these leaders actually helped me uh, identify my potential and say like, yeah, you are doing okay. You should not restrict yourself, right? So that is what I learned. There were a couple of other things also happened where people were trying to restrict me or like biases, but I didn't try to focus on that. I tried to focus on good people who helped me, and that is how I want to pay it forward.
Wow.
So
When you go back to
yeah.
that moment of getting this opportunity,
Hmm.
I have an inclination or feeling that you're being quite humble as well. Like,
Yeah.
gosh, I'm just so grateful I got the chance. And that's
Yeah.
true at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am sure you
Mhm.
deserved the chance, that you put
Thank
yourself into a position where it made sense for them to pick you. And then, yes, that's amazing. And they picked you, and that's the right thing to do.
you. Right.
But I'm asking this question of what do you think you did to earn this? Because it feels like there's a lesson here, both in, as the mentor, what signs should we be looking for to give people opportunities? And as the ones looking for opportunity, how do we position ourselves to be ready and deserving? What is it? Opportunity is when luck meets preparation or something. There's another side to this amazing gratitude that you have.
Wonderful question. So let me think about this. Yeah. First of all, I have to admit that, as most of us, I also have this imposter syndrome where wherever there is opportunity, I think, no, this is not good for me. Like, I'm not right, right person for that. But sometimes you have to actually uh, understand your own potential. And I guess it goes back to the previous one the imposter syndrome most of the times we have because we think like, okay, we apply for it, we go for it, they're going to say no, or I'm not right for this, so we don't even try, right? Because there is this failure kind of, the acceptance of failure, uh, that we don't want to actually have. So what I learned, and this is something I guess I learned after coming to US, because there are a lot of things I had to unlearn, which I had learned in the past, like through generations or like through different culture, religions, or whatnot. So I had to unlearn a lot of my beliefs.
Give me one
First,
one thing you had to unlearn just while we're in the midst of it.
oh, the one thing is, maybe I said like, ah, so I come from Asian family, and we are very humble and very kind of, like no confrontations, or like no kind of unnecessarily, I wouldn't say bragging, but showing our own efforts. I used to get to the, like I had always heard from my parents, oh, no, 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 you don't have to show, like people will realize your work, people will come to you, people will like, if you do great, you do your hard work, you don't have to share, people will know. And I was doing that for a while, but no one noticed me.
Ah, wow.
So I realized it's okay. It's not that you have to brag or you have to actually say, hey, I'm doing that or doing that, but at least take the responsibility of what you have done and share it with the right people, that you have done this. So in the consulting world, when I came, I was like that. And that's where I said, like, people, there were people who actually, some leaders or some people, some different team members actually tried to restrict me or like try to uh, not support me or whatnot. But then I started realizing, okay, or try to get credit of my work, right? But then I realized, no, 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 I cannot be keep quiet and like do the same things. I have to actually, when I do something, when I find a most critical data related issue in a big data warehouse, I'm not going to share that with the person next to him. I'm going to write email to the leaders and say, hey, I found this. And this is how we can solve. These are the things I trust. So I started sharing my achievements, my accomplishment to the leadership at the right time. And it wasn't like someone else's credit that I was sharing. I was sharing what I have done. And I guess as a woman, it is very important to show what you have done, what you're capable of, or what you can do. And you have to
Tell me
speak
more
about
about
it.
that.
Yeah.
You mention, and I know, having worked in tech for many, many years, it's still a very male dominated, but
Yeah.
especially coming from India. And I would imagine that you faced many moments of discrimination or maybe underhanded discrimination where you're just the only one in the room, or, people are looking in other directions. Just, it's not intentional, but it is, making it harder. But you say specifically, one of the most important things you had to unlearn was not sharing those accomplishments. And when you did, it led to this amazing, one of the first opportunities. But what makes it even more important to do that as a woman?
Yeah. Because if you don't do that, someone else is going to do that. And they're going to get that opportunity. And then you would be wondering, okay, why I didn't get it, right? So sometimes you have to understand that there are biases. Even if you're in 2025, there are conscious and unconscious biases, which you cannot change in other people's mind. But at least you can have that awareness that there are biases, and you can try to help other people to actually succeed, right? So when you show up with these examples, you kind of open the doors for other women. You
Mhm.
have to be the, I guess I would say you have to be, like you have to pay it forward for someone, like some people, someone had helped you previously. So by focusing on that, you can do the same thing for others. For an example, as I was talking about, and you mentioned like you might have had this similar biases. Yeah, I did have it. Like when I was in the room, I would say in the meeting room. And as I said, like I was already shy, and I used to be like, okay, if I say something, people are not going to understand. So I used to be quiet. So when there were people who used to actually help me understand my potential, there were people who would just shut me down when I start speaking up, right? So I didn't focus on them. I focus on what I can learn from them. So when I become a leader, and if I see a women or a female or any person, not like I would say women, who is quiet, who is like just as afraid as mine, I open up door for them. I was like, hey, what do you think? Do you have any suggestions? You have been quiet. Like, do you have any idea? And they just speak up. So it reminds me myself, right?
Yeah.
Because there was no one to ask me that time. There were
Wow.
some people, like I learned that. But yeah, so instead of, or sometimes it happens like, I know one of the team that I was leading, like this lady was sharing this idea, and then this guy shut her down. Like, no, this cannot happen. I was like, no, let her finish first. Let her, like, let's listen to her. So as a leader, you have to give that part to women, that to make sure. And as I say, women isn't like, I don't have to actually focus on women. It's a diverse culture. So everyone who is struggling with that, I want to make sure that is important. But so to go back to your point now, and to tie this back, why it is important? Because you are showing the next generation what is right, and what is to do and what is not to do. You have to open path for them. You have to lead by examples, and you have to make sure to be successful. You have to have allies, you have to have supporters, you have to have sponsors, mentors, and you have to build them. So rather than focusing on the things that didn't work right, the people who didn't do right, I would focus on the people who did right, and then pay forward with that. Because you will find all kind of people, but then it's up to you, like what exactly you want to choose, like which side you want to choose, and what you want to pay it forward,
It's
right?
such a
So
powerful example that you're painting from early career days, where advocating for your own work, your own accomplishments creates opportunity, and you're able to work with that, learn from people who are jerks instead of be mad at them, use the open doors. And now that you're in a leadership position, I would characterize it as the very same advocacy is both helping those that you're leading, the people that you're working with, and helping you above, as you're saying, your team. Imagine having a boss or a leader who doesn't advocate for the team that they're on because they don't want to, or they're shy, or they're, I mean, that doesn't work. It really is a skill that leaders need in order for their teams to get resources, get promotions, get pay raise, all those things we want our leaders to be doing for us. But it's incredible to
exactly.
see that thread in just a few minutes that you've kind of weaved through your experience, paying
Exactly.
such massive dividends here.
Exactly. And to your point, like I strongly believe that the great, because I work in technology, we all work in technology, right? And we have seen that like great team actually build great products. People people try, like some of the leaders, they want to actually just build the product. But if you are not invested in your team, you might build the product, but there will not be that passion, that collaboration, that impact, right? So my management philosophy, if I have to actually understand, is like be kind, have empathy, have respect, and building that diverse, like culture or diverse environment where people are not afraid of sharing their idea, people are not actually afraid of speaking. And so that, like, you have to create that ease for your team, and build that like environment where they are like, okay, you know what, like there are our leaders are listening to me, so I can share my ideas. And sometimes you get this groundbreaking ideas from the very bottom of the team. It doesn't come always from the top, right? So
Yeah.
that's why it's very, very important for the organizations and the companies that listen to your people, listen to your team members, and try to understand everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and then provide them platform, so that if they're successful, you're going to be successful. That's how it's like.
I
You can
love
call
that.
me selfish, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I wish we every team was built around, these ideas.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be remiss if we didn't take a pivot before we end to talk a little bit about AI, because that is, such a hot topic right now, and you're in the heart of it, speaking about it, leading teams working on it, seeing innovations happen. I would love if you could share one thing that you're very excited about with AI, and maybe one cautionary thing, one thing that you go, if this happens, that kind of worries me a little bit.
Interesting. And I think we touched upon that, right? Like how the AI is changing the world. But I'm I'm very excited to be part of this journey, right? Because I came from the background where when I got the first computer, I was like, oh my God, I have a computer. It was such a big thing in 2000.
Yep.
And now we are talking about this robots and whatnot.
And you're in it. You're not just receiving it. You're making it happen.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a long journey for all of us, but very exciting time, right? So I believe this innovation in any space, it doesn't happen in one day. Like no one has this perfect plan. Okay, this is going to happen and it's revolutionizing the world, or it's going to transform this industry or that industry, right? It's a continuous learning, continuous collaboration, continuous improvement process across different entities. So for me, I think, I have been involved in many different solutions, whether it is the finance related or healthcare related, where AI is helping tremendously and changing the landscape for patients, landscape for patients, or landscape for shoppers, or this finances and different areas, right? So my approach to that is let's have a diverse perspective. I guess like a willingness to take risk. Okay, this is what it's going to do and this is how it's going to change this specific industry. So it's okay to fail, like have that psychological safe environment, as we say, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, um take the ownership of doing the right thing, right? Because with this tools that we have easy access to, one can do the right thing or one can do the wrong thing, right? We are talking about that. It's up to us what path we need to choose. So that is very important. Like, what do you want to use? Like, what do you want to do with this UI? Do you want to create a meaningful impact, or do you want to actually have a harmful or destroyable impact, right? So choose the right side. Make sure your team is responsible enough to actually what they're building. Take that responsibility. And at the same time, yes, be open-minded, be innovative. This can be a this is going to be a big journey. It's not gonna stop in one year or 2 year. Like, it's a evolving path. So we as a leader, we have to actually create path, build those tools and technologies, but at the same time we have to make sure that everything is responsible, compliant. We are not actually, because I work in healthcare and finance, right? So there is the regulatory requirement, there is the compliance requirement, there is sensitive information. So we are not actually like that, exposing any of those things in a wrong way. So that is, as a leader, is always my big worry. So involving the security compliances and whatnot, very early, any stage, like any AI product that you're building, it's very, very important. And it's more important with the Gen AI solutions right now, because trying having those validations, or making sure you're or how I can say that they're not, your models are not hallucinating, or not actually showing these biases. All those things are very, very important. So as a leader, you have to actually personally invest in that and understand, okay, this is how we want the strong rules that you need to imply. And again, have the empathy towards your customers, towards your team. Those are very, very important things, very basic, but I think they are going to help us unlock the full potential of AI, or your team, or your clients, and bring the better results.
Yeah. I mean, you have spent a long time being fully in the deep end of this topic. And your answer to the question, it has one thing at its core, which is, wow, this is really powerful. I mean, when I see you answer the question, I feel like your eyes widen and there is almost a wonder about the power that's at our disposal, which, as you say, can be used for incredible good. And you're seeing, I mean, healthcare, that's such a incredible place to see AI doing good, because it's something we can all relate to. But you also see that power doesn't have the guardrails, that's up to the leadership, the teams, the people working with it. That in these early days, it can be used for good or evil, maybe, to put it very simply. But I think that power is something that really amazes me, to see someone like you just be in awe of what it can do or what it might be able to do in the future.
Exactly. And you said it so right, because you have this power, but you have to use it responsibly. They say, right, like the great power comes with the great responsibility.
Good Spider-Man quote right there.
Exactly. So that's how it is. I think it is very, very applicable to the AI, the Spider-Man's quote.
Well, Vidya, we always end by asking our guests, when you reflect on this conversation, what piece of advice do you want to leave behind to 99 humans?
Wonderful. First of all, like I already mentioned, like very, very, very humbled by this experience, and you both are doing this great work to bringing this human. So that is amazing.
We just get to talk to cool people. I hardly think that's a hard job, but thank you.
But actually bringing the people, like, so I was talking about this project that I actually got to lead. There was like all silos, but then having the platform where you bring everyone together so that everyone has access, and no one think about it. So you thought about that. So first of all, thank you for that. But for the audience, if you are asking me to leave the message is like, yeah, of course, we are living in the AI world. It is going to transform every industry, every aspect, but you still have to be human, right? You still have to have this empathy. You still have to have the compassion towards each other, because that's what is actual power of building something meaningful, having the great impact, and that keeps you grounded, respectful, and effective as a leader. That is how I would say.
I think that's fantastic advice. Your team is lucky to have you, very clearly thinking about these things as a leader. Where can people connect with you if they want to reach out?
Sure. So I have my LinkedIn account, Vidya More, and I do have my Medium as well. Sometimes I do post there. If you search on my at vidyamore.com or vidya.more@gmail.com is my email address if someone wants to reach out to me. But I'm easily available on LinkedIn. It's awesome. Vidya.more.
I'll put that in the show notes then.
Sure.
Thank you again for being here. We are winding up our 99 humans, but I sure am glad that we got to hear your story. So
yeah. Thank you, Jeff.
You had fantastic things to say, and I think keeping it casual gives that human feel to the conversations, because you've done so much. But how and where and why, and that's the stuff that, at least for me, when I look at your LinkedIn, it's intimidating. Like, oh my God, how could this woman ever do all of this stuff? And so it's humanizing, just to chat.
Yeah, that's very nice of you. But one thing actually I want to add, which I didn't mention, when I say like just reach out, right? Like ask. Similar thing what my HBS, when I actually got the general management program admission, I wasn't sure whether I should do that. And I just I was like, okay, let's apply for it with the essay, which I did. But then what I did, like I just reached out to the committee and asked them, like, do you have any scholarships? No one knew that they had a scholarship. I just reached out to someone and I actually got the scholarship.
Oh, wow.
And when I got admitted, when I did that research, I just casually said that, okay, I got a scholarship. And they were like, oh, they didn't mention it anywhere. I was like, yeah, I knew, but I just wanted to reach out and ask if there is anything. So we don't do that, right? So think out of those ways. If you want to do something, I would say like you just get it, but you just have to try everything.
Like one of those happy
Yeah,
little accidents from Bob Ross.
exactly. Right. Oh, Rose, yeah. Yeah, this is like I don't know if you want to share it, but I think for women, we always try to restrict ourselves. We are like, oh, how can we reach out? It's okay to reach out. Like, what is going to happen? Maybe no, or no one is going to respond. But you never know. I got a full scholarship, not full, but like percentage of scholarship, which no one knew that even existed there. People were
I
ready
think
to
that's
help.
a super, super
Right.
powerful example because
Right?
you're right. There's no harm from putting it out into
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah. Exactly.
Maybe I sort of always operate because I like to be surprised by the good. I sort of
Exactly.
assume it won't go anywhere, but I'm
Exactly.
always putting whatever it is out there. And
Exactly.
a lot of times
Right.
it does go somewhere like,
Exactly.
oh, wow,
Exactly.
fantastic.
Yeah. Let's think about it. If I would not have applied for that program itself, I would have not got scholarship. I would not completed my HBS thing. But everything happened because first I applied for the program. Even in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, they are not going to select me. Then after they selected, I applied for the scholarship, thinking, yeah, there is no scholarship mentioned. Why would they give me scholarship? But yeah, I tried, right? So people don't try.
That's
So I just
inspiring.
want to say that as well. But thank you so much, Jeff. And thank you for your time. And say thanks to Nadia as well.
I absolutely will. I know she's sorry she couldn't be here, but hope you enjoy the weekend and thank you again for doing this.
Yes, bye. Take care.
We'll be in touch. Bye, Vidya.
Yes, bye bye. Take care.